there's been incredible importance in hearing stories from Arno, from Daniel, from other former far-right extremists, about kind of how people get to the point of becoming far-right extremists, and understanding their background and understanding the pain that in many ways leads to hate. It's been a kind of revelation of how incredibly similar we are. Arno and I are incredibly similar in many ways. I would have been standing on the gas stove dancing around if we had the gas stove. Instead, I locked my mother out of the house and turned on our stove while she was like melting butter or something, and the house almost caught fire. So, and I was climbing on everything and falling down from everything. You know, like we were both pretty crazy. No doctor ever told me I was a gifted genius, though, so that might have been good for me. But anyway, so listening to Arno's story has been important to me, but also listening to the stories of other survivors, and in many ways it's very difficult to distinguish between survivors and formers, because a lot of survivors have, or a lot of formers have stories of survival. But I think one thing that was incredibly important to me was to meet Pardip. Pardip is, as Arno mentioned, an amazing and powerful individual. And hearing his story about, first of all, his own personal experience of what happened at the Sikh temple in 2012 is powerful, but also his stories about his father and who his father was. And I think, if anything, I'm incredibly inspired by Pardip's father, his courage in his last minutes, but also his life of pulling himself up in the U.S. He was an immigrant. He started a chain of petrol stations. He was an incredibly important person within the Sikh community that has done so many great things for the city of Milwaukee, which is a deeply troubled city in many ways, in a deeply troubled state. And also Pardip's and Arno's capability of turning their horrible experiences into something incredibly beautiful and Serve to Unite that I'm very happy to be part of.